Alrighty, you guys, so I get asked all the time what my favorite events are within the tower defense games that I talk about on this channel, and so I figured I would give y'all a one-stop shop of the absolute objectively correct opinions. That's right, everything that I say here is 100% true, and if you disagree, you are just wrong. Anyways, so I've decided to rank every single TDS and TDX event. I'm well aware that obviously there's smaller tower defense game events that I'm not talking about here, but at the end of the day, this video would be 3 hours long if I did that, plus, you know, a lot of the people wouldn't even know what the events I'm talking about are, so I figured I would just stick to TDS and TDX since they're pretty mainstream, so that way y'all aren't here for 3 hours. Anyways, so, without further ado, we're gonna get straight into it. First off, we have TDX's first ever April Fools event. This event, high-key a banger. It was really the first April Fools event that I think set a notion that April Fool's events can be something more than just a stupid meme. The toilet mode that they added, as stupid as it was really fun. The maps were all really, you know, cool. Like the Lava World one was a peak reference. The one with the cars was really funny. This event was really good, especially considering how fast they got it out. Overall, I do really like this event. B tier. Tower Defense Simulator Christmas 2019. This is where we first see Krampus. And I'm not gonna lie, in my opinion, this event is just a worse version of Tower Battles' 2018 winter event. I think Krampus is just too similar to Frosty, and overall, I think that this is just not... If we're gonna do something similar to Tower Battles Christmas 2018, we have this event for a reason. So, overall, I gotta give this one a C tier. The towers it introduced aren't even really that good. Until Archer got buffed, Archer was pretty good for a while, but overall, kind of a mid-event. Ducky 2022. Now, this event, I do think all of the Ducky events, I think they get progressively better as they come out. I do think this one was alright. My issue with this event is they didn't give us an event tower, man. An event with no event tower, there's not much to get me out of bed to play the event. Also, it introduced the circle mechanic, and love or hate the circle mechanic, it was definitely controversial. I will give it some credit because it did innovate the circle mechanic, although I do not think it was super well done. Low B tier. Summer 2019. This is the first ever tower defense event I had ever played. This was, I believe, Tower Defense Simulator's second event, and you got the Commando Tower from it. It introduced tower killing for the first and only time in Tower Defense Simulator, and it overall was a pretty fun event. It was really funny at the time because that was when the whole Area 51 meme was happening. Really fun event. That being said, it definitely did not age super gracefully if you go back and look at old gameplay. That being said, the nostalgia goggles are on for this one. High B tier. Alright, now we're getting to the GOATs. This event, Halloween 2024 from Tower Defense X, is without a doubt one of the best tower defense events ever made. It is fantastic. It innovated the no path mechanic, completely, like, never seen before in a Roblox tower defense game, at least from the ones that I play. Super fun. Chapter 3 is, in my opinion, one of the best tower defense modes of all time. Great bosses within chapters 1 and 3. All the chapters have something unique to them, whether, you know, it's the first chapter, which is underrated in my opinion. Really fun, you know, if you like, you know, having to struggle with econ. Second mode introduces dual path. Third mode introduces no path. And then fourth path introduces the circle mechanic, which obviously is not super great. Even though Chapter 4 for this event was genuinely one of the most disappointing things of all time, I do not care. Chapters 1 and through 3 are so unbelievably good in this event. Great event towers and skins too. I'm putting it in revolutionary. I will die on this hill. This is, in my opinion, one of, if not the best tower defense event of all time. It is so good, they absolutely cooked up. The theming, the lore is immaculate. Spring 2020. This is the first ever Ducky Doom event in TDS, and in my opinion is the worst. Really, the only thing I like and remember about this event was the fact that it gave us Swarmer. I do not think the original mode for this is fun. It also introduced the easy and hard mode for an event for the first time, but overall, I just do not like this event that much. C tier. But it's better than Christmas. Alright, TDX Operation Slime. Now, this event is the event that got me back into YouTube. If y'all know me well enough, you know I took like a 2-month hiatus, basically. And this event is the event that I begrudgingly played because I thought it looked stupid. And then I actually played it and ended up really liking it. I think this plays way more like a TDS event than a TDX one, but it is really funny. It introduces some of the coolest like themed bosses. I think Captain Slime is just hilarious, and Slime King is also really cool. It's just a really fun event. It doesn't, you know, innovate too much. It's just a really solid event. I really wish they would add it to the replayable events thing in TDX because it is a really fun event. Yeah, I'm putting it in A tier. Again, remember, objectively correct opinions here. Gladiator event. Now, the Gladiator event was TDS's first ever event and gave us Gladiator. And overall, this event's kind of polarizing. This mode was so hard because the game had just came out, and so no one had good towers, and you basically were required to do Freezer Micro with the Ice Drop ability he had all the way back then in order to win. That being said, this, you know, kind of set the tempo for a TDS event, and I gotta respect it. It wasn't the most innovative event or anything, but I'll be damned, it gave us something. So, out of purely respect, B tier. Christmas 2024 from TDX is once again one of the all-time GOATs. This event basically took Tower Battles 2018 and put it on steroids. This event, despite, you know, not being a collab event, really brought the game together. I thought this really connected TDX and Tower Battles just as much as the Tower Battles collab event did, and overall I think they did a great job with this. It's so fun. General Selgar's awesome. Hear the thump, all that other stuff. S tier. Halloween 2019 from Tower Defense Simulator is very similar to the other early on seasonal events, or like it's an event, it's all right, but at the end of the day, it's kind of mid. I remember seeing Jacobot for the first time and thinking his model looked really cool, and looking back on it, it did not age gracefully. I mean, look at the newer Jacobot versus the old one. That being said, I do think out of these three events I've gotten C tier right now, I do think Halloween 2019 is the best. I do not think TDS has ever had a bad Halloween event. And speaking of Halloween events, here comes probably the biggest hot take of this entire thing, is Lunar Overture. Lunar Overture is one of the most polarizing Tower Defense Simulator events of all time, and I'm gonna say it, I like it. Acts 1 and 2 were really fun. They had the map switching mechanic, which I thought was really cool. It introduced Narrator, who is one of my favorite Tower Defense Simulator characters, and the soundtrack was a banger. The event tower Jester was pretty cool, and overall, this event did so much well. And then Act 3 came out, and it was one of the biggest turds of disappointment of all time. So if I was rating this with just Act 3, I would put it in I'm not mad, just disappointed. But the rest of this event is so good, I gotta put it in high A tier. The only reason this event is not in S tier is because of how bad Act 3 was. And now we get to the event that cursed this game for a full year, Halloween 2020. This event gets very mixed opinions in the Tower Defense Simulator community. A lot of people like it, some people don't like it because of how long it is in the game. But ignoring the fact that it was in the game for so long, because I don't really think that's an issue with the event itself, that's more of, you know, Paradoxum for not updating their game for a year. But this event is actually a straight up banger. Super fun wave layout, you know, Lord Sinister, great boss, great map. The citizens reinforcing you while you're fighting is really cool. And especially considering they tied the story in with Halloween 2020, because, you know, a lot of the people who didn't like this event would always say, oh, it's not significant to the story, Halloween 2020 sucks. It is now, it's the entire motivator behind the Children of Exo. This event is great. I'm still going to say Lunar Overture is better because Lunar Overture just had so much more content in it, but this event is great. I love it so much. I'm sorry, guys, I didn't play Hexscape. I know this is a very polarizing event, but I didn't play it, so I don't want to, you know, misjudge y'all. Christmas 2023. This was TDX's first ever Christmas event, and for how little they had to, you know, get this out the gate, I thought they did a pretty good job. Cryo Ranger's the only ever event tower to have multiple paths, so overall, I do think they did a lot of good stuff here for their first ever event, and it's elegant in its simplicity. I think it's a decent event, just there's a lot missing from it because of how fast they had to get it out the door. That being said, I gotta chuck it in B tier out of respect. Alright, let's put Metaverse Champions where it belongs. Null and Void. Null and Void. What can I say other than wow, this event is straight heat. I love this event so much. It is genuinely probably one of the best Tower Defense Simulator events of all time. I'm not going to say the best, but it's definitely one of the best. It really made the story actually kind of decent, which it was unheard of with Tower Defense Simulator. It's really fun to play. Really, my only issue with Null and Void is I think Null Commander and especially Null Guardian are just really underwhelming bosses. I think Riftwalker has a really good fight, outside of the fact that Riftwalker just bricks computers, but this event is gas. S tier. Seriously, if you don't play Tower Defense Simulator, check out this event. It's worth your time. Did not play Operation Ice. Did not play Please Donate. I'm sorry. Solar Mother freaking Eclipse, dude. This event changed everything. This event was the first ever event to do the night system. It was the first ever event to take story somewhat seriously. And I mean, just look at the splash art on this thing. I have never once seen a Tower Defense Simulator splash art that is just so fun to look at. It's such a cool event. The themes, the colors of, the solar eclipse every night, like just looking at the skyboxes, the enemy design is great. Umbra, great villain, great designs. I'm never escaping the Umbra glazing allegations, but this is the best Tower Defense event of all time. Sue me. I love it. You will never be able to stop me from glazing this event. It is so good. I'm gonna be honest, this event was the classic was kind of mid. It basically just took the stuff from this event here, the hunt, and just reused it. I would put this, and I'm not mad disappointed, but the guest skin that you get from the classic is so unbelievably good, I gotta bump it up to D tier. The hunt, on the other hand, was a really good event. For, such a small, like these small events here, typically I'm very critical of them because there's so little to do with them. The hunt had a really good OST, and overall the mode that we were given was pretty fun, especially considering this was the first time we got to see the core blocks enemies, and overall, since they were new at the time, this event is good. It's not super great because, it doesn't have much going for it, but I am actually going to put it in C tier. I do like the hunt. Now, the Hunt Reborn, same thing as the classic. It just reuses the core blocks enemies, has nothing unique going for it. It's got like a new OST and like a new map, but like there's no new enemies. I mean, like, come on. Yeah, okay, all right. If there was like a trash can on my screen right now, I would put the TDS's Takeover in the trash can. This event made me so angry. It is such a, I get that they were working on Halloween when this came out. But at the end of the day, when you look at another game like TDX released the Takeover while they were working on Nightmare, which is their most, ambitious update of all time, and they still got, an A-tier event out. And so, comparisons to Thief of Joy, but, the fact that this was made by a team marginally smaller than the team that made this one is just kind of sad. TDS Skibbity is just kind of mid. I mean, it's alright. It's better than these two, just because I think the skins are cool, but, there's not much to talk about here. This, again, comparing this to certain other events, also, just comparing this to, this April Fool's event, it's just sad. I mean, come on, do better. And we're back. Sorry, I realized I forgot some events. Anyways, going forward, Shattered Moon, TDX's most recent Halloween event. I'm not gonna lie, I realize completely the reason this event is so mid is because they were working on Nightmare, and the fact that they got this event at all isn't a testament to how hard the TDX developers work. That being said, I would be lying if I said I liked this event. I don't like it. It's just there's not enough content in it, in my opinion, and just overall, there's no Nightmare mode at the time of recording this video. Relic Rework's coming out tomorrow, but just there's not enough for me to talk about with this event. It is not bad by any means. Just when you're coming after this event, you're doomed to fail with how high expectations were, especially considering they were working on Nightmare mode. No hate to the TDX developers, just they could have. I'm not even gonna say they could have done better because they did really good with what the time they had. Just the event itself, not super great. Ducky Doom 3. Now this event is one that overall I think really did good. This is the best Ducky event, and this is the event that got me back into playing Tower Defense Simulator. I took a big break around this time, with Hexscape and Operation Ice, but I really liked this event. I thought, Nerd Duck, love him or hate him as a character, I think he is a well-written character, even though, he's annoying and, a war criminal, but overall, I do like this event. A tier. Yes, Violent Night. This event, I have such beef with. The only thing I like about this event is Elf Camp. Everything else about this event, I do not like. It is literally just the Ducky 2022 event, except Christmas themed. You can use a strategy on this event to beat this one, and it works. Like, there's just nothing unique about this event other than Elf Camp. Because it has Elf Camp, I'm not gonna put it, and I'm not mad, I'm just disappointed. But like, yeah, I'm not a fan of Violent Night, especially because Mecha Claus is such a mid-boss. It technically introduced EXO, I guess, but like, come on. TDX X Tower Battles. I mean, what can I say other than this is the collab event to be all collab events, man. I mean, they basically just recreated Tower Battles in TDX, and I am not complaining. This event mode is incredibly well balanced, it's super fun, and overall, the tether between Tower Battles and TDX I think is really cool. As you know, having a Tower Battles sequel is really awesome, you know, to respect those older tower defense games. I know TDS was really inspired by Tower Battles. I really wish TDS would acknowledge their Tower Battles heritage, but to my knowledge, there is some beef between Below and Planet. So, overall, this event, fantastic. Really great. Commander and Zed, great event towers. And overall, I want to see TDX and TDS collab because of how good this event was. Top of S tier. Frost Invasion. Frost Invasion's like Halloween 2020 where it was in the game for way too long. That being said, this event mode is awesome. The 4 paths were fun. Sledger's a great tower. Frost Spirit's a good boss. Overall, I love the event enemies from Frost Invasion. The soundtrack's a banger. I mean, like, I gotta put it in S, man. I love Frost Invasion. It's so good. It was in the game for so long, but I just do not care. It was so good, man. TDX April Fools 2025 or 2025. This event is kind of polarizing. I love the theming. It took me back to my childhood with the MLG stuff. That being said, the event tower with the troll tower, I really did not like. I think it power creeps Scarecrow, which is such a stupid statement. But like, what's the point of having Scarecrow when you can have a Scarecrow tower that can also give buffs? It also just looks radically out of place. Like, I guess Scarecrow is also a bit weird, but Scarecrow at least like remotely kind of fits like the Tower Battles aesthetic at least. The troll tower just looks so weird, and every time I see it, I kind of die inside a little bit. But the event mode itself was really cool. The Illuminati boss is funny. I just also no nightmare mode. There's technically like the golden zombie thing, but like that wasn't real nightmare mode. Come on. Overall, though, I do think it was an improvement. The visual fidelity in this event was a lot more serious. It was a lot more like better made. So I'm gonna put it slightly above toilet mode. That being said, both April Fool's events are really good. And Krampus's Stronghold. Now, this is a pretty good event. I know a lot of people like it. Me personally, I'm a little bit more like apprehensive about it. I do not like Cryomancer as an event tower. That being said, I thought like the actual mode itself was pretty fun, but I also didn't play TDS super often when this event was in game. So overall, I'm gonna chuck it in B tier. It's a good event. I do think it was better than the original Krampus because they made Krampus not just a Frosty knockoff. So I'll put it in high B tier. Anyways, that is the objectively correct ranking of all these events. Let me know what you think in the comments. Like the video if you liked the video. Subscribe for more Saltz. And forever and always, make stuff you're proud of.